Alright, let's try this nonsense again, and be upset that the last run failed so terribly. Doing not bad, getting sleepy, you're doing okay, doing well, considering I should think. Yeah, I'm really sorry about all that bad news, Sarah. Well, that was kind of a waste. Damn it! I thought I could get out quick enough. I was wrong. So we're probably gonna fight the Haunt because this game hates me. I'm not in a streak, so I don't care about resets. Let's just go for our first item room. Or curse room. Nah. Well, I'm glad I'm helping. I'm sorry I'm not playing any better. There we go. Alright, we'll take Baltar. Baltar is an okay way to start things out. They should. I don't think it... I don't know. More matter, like, if I'm playing... Like, if I'm doing it as, like, you know, I've won one or I've lost... You know, if I've won one recently... Oh, come on. I'm too slow. I just don't... I don't know. I don't feel like that item right now. It's not... I'm not feeling it. It's not me. I'm after, Eden tokens. Here, I'll show you. See how, where's Eden? See how Eden tokens right here? I've only got 7, because I die on him constantly. So I'm trying to get more. Oops, I didn't need to do that. It's okay. And... Game, give me something good. Give me something good, please. I don't want one good run. I'm gonna force it. Second I said Eden, you know what I meant? Yeah, I know how that feels. Okay, that'll do. That's a start. Fucking finally. Okay, so 1.5 times damage and a small damage up. We're good. We're good. I'm good with this. Even if we fight the Haunt, I'm okay with this. Surprisingly, despite all the silliness that we did in the last one, in the last run, we didn't actually get, Cricket's Head or Magic Mushroom. I don't want Spider Baby. I don't like items that activate on hit. I think that that's a sign that you're playing terribly. Granted, I get hit a lot because I'm bad at this game, but that's beside the point. No! Oh. I didn't mean to pick that up yet. I'll fight Widow. Widow's not terribly hard. Not with this damage, at least. I do think Widow is one of the more difficult first floor bosses, just because there's, like, way so much ad control. I'll take this. It's an extra health up. And a chance for enemies to drop hearts. It's not bad. Then we can reroll that Spider Baby. Oh. Almost enough to go in the shop. Meh. Let's see what's in here. Since now we don't have to pay for it. I'll just take that. You love the thing at the bottom of the screen? You mean the item tracker? It's pretty good. It's pretty good. There's only one bad thing about it. Oh god. And that's that it calls soul hearts sin hearts, which I think is a massive faux pas. Okay, down we go. I should have taken Spider Baby, but that's okay. There was no way of knowing which way we were going. Why should it call black hearts sin hearts? They're black hearts, damn it. They're not sin hearts. Fuck sin hearts. That's like calling soul hearts spirit hearts. Yes, we have no way of knowing which way the river is flowing. Exactly. Thank you, Royal Blue. Alright, so leave real quick, re-enter, just so that, yeah, that silliness doesn't keep going on. So we found our boss room, that's really good. Found our item room, also really good. Eat you. Okay. Perfect. Libra. How about not? I'm not gonna take Libra. Fuck that noise. Game, could you give me a small rock? Shield hearts? This isn't the Marvel Universe, damn it. They're soul hearts. The end. Welcome back, Sabzi. Oh, thank you, game. It let me skip that stupid room with all the stupid spikes. Stupid pokies. They hurt when you touch them. You have bacon? Oh my god, I want bacon. Did you bring enough for the whole class? Yay, bacon sharing. Man, bacon sharing instead of profit sharing? That's something I can get behind. Oh, we fought Krampus, though. Like, super delayed reaction, because I was busy thinking of bacon sharing instead of profit sharing. You've never said which. I don't remember anymore. Alright, give me a lump of coal. You motherfucker. Motherfucker! Wait, you, did you mean you've never said, did you bring enough for the whole class? Because that's a phrase everyone should. You don't know why the whole class didn't want chewed gum. Nah, see, that's like army training. That's like army training. When one kid chews gum, you make them split it up into the correct amount, and they have to share it with the whole class. And then the rest of the class hates them for making them chew chewed gum because it's gross. And bam, you've got yourself a kid who will never do it again. Because they're terrified of the psychopath teacher who will make them all chew shared gum, or all eat already chewed gum. I need a battery. Game, could you be so kind as to provide me with a battery? Please? No batteries. Well, that's okay. Because that is super good. I've also got a kid who's gonna have a nervous breakdown and try to kill you with a staple gun. Hey class, I brought a durian pulp cake. I brought enough for everyone. What the hell is durian pulp cake? Sorry, I'm stretching. Stretching. Much better. Sorry about that. Okay. I guess I'll take Little Steven. I hate how fucking common this stupid item is now. I really do. I fucking hate it. like, every fucking other run, you get this stupid familiar. Durians are spiky fruit that, when ripe, they smell like rotting flesh. Gotcha. Cool, that's badass. And also horrifying. Cake tasted like it too, I bet. Gross. God damn it. I was looking at chat, you guys are distracting me. Of course they smell awful, they smell like rotting flesh. What kind of sick person likes the smell of rot? Actually, I kind of like the smell of rot. It's kind of weirdly sweet and gross and ew. But it's super sweet. I don't know why. Stupid pungent odors. Hey, I got peepees. Nice. I don't have any bombs. Never mind. You calmly walked to the bin and removed the food stuff from your mouth. Diesel isn't rot, though. Diesel's a complex carbon cluster thing. Wiggle worm, hell yeah. Don't care. Well, I'm kind of a sick human being. This is a known thing. Look, I'm playing The Binding of fucking Isaac, and I think it's, like, oddly adorable. This is a game about, like, abortions and poop. Anybody who anybody... Not hydrocarbon, what, I don't fucking know. Oh, yes, hydrocarbon? I don't know if that's what I was trying to say, but yes. Anyway, point being, anyone who plays The Binding of Isaac regularly is a little tweaked. Just straight up. It's a game, like, you play it the first time and you're like, oh my god, this game is horrifying. And then you play it, like, the 5th time and you're like, hello. We don't get the 1.5 times damage multiplier, but we get the everything else. Side note, you play it the first time and you're like, oh my god, this is horrifying. And then you play it, like, the 5th time and you're like, such happy little poops. Look at how cute they are. Okay, anybody who plays this game is a little bit fucked in the head. Kinda have to be good with solvent stork and a machine shot. That's a good point. Come on. Get dead, get dead. God, why does Mega Fatty have to have nipples? Why? Ow, dude, not cool. No! Yeah, taking that. Durians are not allowed to be grown near schools or hospital. Only way to ship them is frozen because they're mostly deadens the scent. That sounds alright. Okay, let's see. Alright, let's credit card this. We'll take this one. Obviously, we'll take that, and... Nope. Nope. Range up, okay. Mostly. Or airports. Basically, just don't cultivate this flower at all. Justice card, thank you. So it only kinda smells like you're hiding a body in the back of the truck. Only kinda. There's a reason they're called reefer trucks. That kid. Alright, so... got the magic mushroom and cricket's head. Like, that in itself makes this a good run. I'm still upset about the last run. A little bit salty. A little bit salty, but that's okay. We'll be all right. Silver, go to bed. You're allowed to sleep, man. You're allowed to sleep. Tuck yourself in bed and get some beauty rest, motherfucker. I think everything is technically edible if you can put it in your mouth. It might just not go down well, and it might murder you. That doesn't mean you can't eat it. Sleep well, Silver. Sweet dreams. Thanks for sticking around. No, dude, man is in, like, the dude, man. Not man as in, like, penis. Come on. Oh, I'm sorry, Sarah. I'm sorry. Just irritated because you're trying to adjust your sleep schedule. Yeah. And Sarah, trust me, I go days and days where I only sleep like an hour a night because I don't want to get into REM sleep and have nightmares because I don't dream. I only ever have nightmares. Like my whole life, I've only ever had nightmares. And the worst part is like, they're usually not even surreal, horrifying things. They're usually just like, my car gets stolen, or I lose my job, or my family disowns me or something. They're usually very real fears that happen to me in real life. And my brain's just like, hey, you know that thing you dread all the time? Like when you come home every day from work, you're like, that's it. This is it. Today's the day they change the locks on me and I'm gonna be homeless. Today's the day. And then I have a nightmare about that. So yeah. Sleep well, Silverlight. Sorry, I'm focusing on fighting Gertie. But yeah, I totally understand. I might not have had something terribly traumatic, like, you know, like what happened with you lately, so I can't really sympathize with that, because it's been a long time since I've had something like that happen to me. But I do understand. Like, I understand the desire to not sleep, because it can be legitimately terrifying. Alright, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna open that first. We're gonna buy this, and we're gonna use it a whole bunch. Gonna do that. Ow, dude. Then we're gonna buy this, so we get it for free, and then we'll reroll that to get Judas a shadow. Okay. You're just glad you weren't in state, yeah. That kind of shit can fuck with you, and I'm really sorry you have to go through with it. Like, I'm sorry you have to deal with that. That is terrible. It's been close to a decade since I've had anything like that happen. But that wasn't anyone's fault except for the school systems. So it was a little bit different. At the same time, that's why I rant and rave when people... So, like, this is totally a really heavy subject, and I'm skirting around mentioning it because, obviously, I don't want to mention it, but, like, it's like around here where they have the whole... I live in Virginia, in Northern Virginia, and we don't often get a lot in the way of snow, except when we do. Like, it's either a sprinkling or a dusting, or full-blown blizzard. There's never any in between. But they used to, back when I was in high school at least, they used to never cancel school because they didn't want to cancel school. They wanted everyone to go and blah 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 blah. You know, they wanted you to do your time. But back in like God, it was in my senior year, so we're talking a decade ago. In fucking, like, 2004. In February, it snowed, and they didn't want to cancel school, so they delayed it by 2 hours, and it sleeted the whole morning. Like, the whole morning. It had been constant, just a constant drizzle. And it washed off all the salt that they were using on the roads. And of course it was below freezing, which meant that once the salt was off the roads, everything froze up again. And this one girl I know, well, I don't ever talk to her anymore, but this one girl I knew was driving 2 of her friends to school, which technically was against the rules. You're not supposed to, you weren't supposed to, if you're under a certain age in Virginia, you're not supposed to drive with more than more than X number of people in the vehicle with you, but she was, because that's just how they had to do things. The only fucking tree in a mile stretch. And the worst part is the driver is the one who lived, of course. You know, she survived. Needless to say, they cancel school on at a drop of a hat now. You know, it only took 2 kids dying for them to do it. So, and it's hilarious in a terrible, sad, tragic way, because now, like, you know, I've worked with, like, fucking old-ass motherfuckers who are in their 60s, and they're like, school will get canceled one day, and they get all pissy. They get all pissy with it. It's like, I can't believe school's closing. It's not even that bad out there. The buses are fine. And it's like, people, it's not about the buses. It's about the fact that you've got kids out there in high school that it's their first year driving. They've never driven in the snow before. It's their first time. You can't expect them to go to school. You gotta make some sacrifices for it, to make sure that you don't end up with fucking dead kids. But they don't want to do that because that'll mess up their perfect attendance record and shit. And so I always have to get into these fucking arguments with basically old people who think that, we don't need to cancel school, sort of bullshit. And now it's like the shit that's on Tumblr, like that post will go around where it's like, in New England, you know, it's fucking, there's 2 feet of snow on the ground. I'm like, no, you're going to school. Yeah, because it's fucking New England. Everybody lives in the snow there. It's constant. In the South, it sprinkles, and they cancel school. Yeah, because there's teenagers who don't know how to drive, and the roads are frozen. You dumb motherfuckers. Seriously. But I hate most people, and that's pretty much why. Because they think they know shit, and they don't. They don't think about all the goddamn consequences because they're too busy being outraged about stuff. Oh yeah, no, our school system is totally fucked, but this is just one other way that it's fucked. Alright, let's... Ow, come on. And jam. Whoops, I walked over that. So yeah, the priority system was always, we don't want to miss any attendance days, but yeah. They wouldn't fuck that up. And it's been a decade, and on the bright side, you know, they haven't changed their minds on it. They've been sticking to it, at least. Just use that. The thing about not canceling is that it costs them money, costs the system money to cancel. Who gives a shit? Money is replaceable. My friend isn't. The worst part is she was the fucking best and brightest in the school. Like, teachers are like, she was the only one to ace tests. Everyone else would at least get one wrong, and she was fucking knocking shit out of the park. The worst part was they had an open casket funeral. Which was kind of necessary because a lot of us needed closure. Like, we didn't believe it. I didn't believe it. I couldn't. There was no way. But it didn't even look like the same person. And the worst part about it is, you know, we weren't little. Like, we were all high schoolers. Most of us were seniors and juniors in high school. So it's like, you look at it, and you see a person, you can see all the little... You can see all the little changes. And you know just how much they had to do to make her presentable to have it open. And again, I know why they did it. We needed it. We needed it because otherwise it was just, you know, it was an empty box. Because that's what it was. If we hadn't been able to see a person there, it would have just been an empty box. It's just a box full of books. She's off somewhere. Like, that was the mentality. So I understand why they did it. Like, they had to. It was absolutely necessary. I still don't believe it. But the whole system about it is just bad. I do apologize that this has become such a heavy, like, conversation piece. And I'm sorry if it's bringing up terrible stuff, Sarah. No, it's one of the, like... Yeah, you do. Because otherwise, you can just look at it and just kind of... It's an empty box. That's what it comes down to, is that's... If you don't see it, you're just going to be in denial. And you kind of have to force yourself. You have to look at it and force yourself to accept it. Because otherwise you're just going to pretend that it's not the same. Because I know that's how it was for a lot of us. And it really was the only way. Is it this way? Yeah, it was. But it still sucks. And I mean, like I said, it's been a decade for me. You know, this isn't like some fresh, new pain that's only, you know, I'm still working through it. It's been a long time, and I don't think about it very often anymore. You know, it's just like February will roll around sometimes, and I'm like, hey, it was around now. I don't remember the exact date. It's been too long. But that's one of the things, is that eventually you just kind of continue life. And I think that it's an important thing for everything, because you can't hold on to it forever. At some point, it's like, it's one of those things that's like, I think of that with a lot of things. Both including, like, when someone, you know, when someone dies, or, like, being molested or raped, or even something huge like fucking 9/11. It's been over 10 years, you know. If I held on to some of the shit that's happened to me in my life for 15 years and never got over it, like I never worked through it and got past it, I would be in bed right now just curled up. There would be no way to function. And that's not to say a mourning period isn't necessary. Like, that's totally necessary. You know, you can't just flick a switch and turn it off unless that is your actual coping method. And if that's your coping method, do it. You know, don't force yourself to go through it. But yeah, if it's around a time like that, that's a terrible reminder. Like, that's the terrible thing about Christmas, is people get depressed around the holidays, especially if they don't have you know, if they don't have their family and everything. And then suddenly it's like Thanksgiving or Christmas is always going to be a reminder of that. So, you know. But talking about it does usually help, so. I'm just going to use that. Let's touch this, put it down. Reroll that. I'll take the habits. Take the Batra. Should go grab that key since you paid for it. Paid a key for it. I did? Sorry, I was so totally lost in thought. I really was. I was totally lost in what I was talking about. Let's take that. Because I need a heart for Devil Room eventually. Okay. Judgment, you say? Okay. I think I'm going to move on from this topic, but when it comes down to it, mourning periods are definitely necessary. Yeah, this is the mob floor. Mourning periods are like 100% necessary, but at some point it has to become the past and not current. So, like with, you know, with my friend, like I said, it's not something I think about regularly anymore. But it's always something that I will have to remember. Yes, you're welcome. I mean, if I'm gonna be entertaining, I might as well be distracting too. I would really like money equals power at this point. But yeah. It's one of those... It's kind of the difference between, like... I don't want to say this because it's a terrible way to say things, but there's not really a whole lot of other ways to say it. It's like, you mourn when a young person dies. You celebrate when an old person dies. Because when someone dies young... Yeah, Midas Touch would also be acceptable. When someone dies young, it's usually a tragedy that it was cut short. When someone dies when they're old, you celebrate that they lived that long and that you had a lot of memories with them. You know? You go from mourning loss to celebrating existence. And that does make a bit of a difference. At the same time, both sides of it, if you hold on to it forever, all you're going to do is be digging yourself into a deeper hole. So, you know, you work through it, and then you go on with the next chapter of your life. You don't forget it, but you don't make it, you don't let it be the thing that controls you. And I think a lot of people have trouble with that. I think as a, you know, that's the thing is, as a country we have a problem with that. Is making sure that we don't let things control us for our entire lives. Because we seem to think as a humanity that once we become a victim, we're always a victim. And we can't be. We can't be. That's not any way to live. And like and this is going to be a touchy subject. Like changing topics just a little bit. I mentioned that it's like, you know, if it's death, rape, or like a tragedy, whether natural or forced, you know, it's like that's my big problem with people, especially on like fucking Tumblr. Yeah, if we could just stop taking our shoes off at airports, it'd be nice. It's like the whole thing with Tumblr is like, you get the whole rape victim thing. And I've been molested before. It wasn't full-out rape, and I thank everything for that. But at the same time, I could not let that be the thing that controls my life. And I feel so many people let it be the thing that controls their life, and they let it either ruin men or sex or any type of intimacy for them forever. And you can't do that. It's terrible when that sort of thing happens. No fucking doubt about it. It's a terrible fucking thing. But if you let that, or you let someone dying, or you let a fucking national tragedy ruin your, like, future forever, that's a huge problem. It's not healthy. We're taking Brimstone. I'm taking it. We're doing it. So yeah, like taking our shoes off at airports. The TSA has caused more problems than help. They've not caught anything, and all they've done is stolen shit and cost millions of dollars. Yeah, we need safety from that kind of thing, but I think it's time we stop letting it rule our lives. And I mean, especially in the case of someone dying. Oh, God, imagine if... And I'm suicidal a lot of the time. I have serious problems with it. But if like, my family just stopped living because of it for the rest of ever, you know, like, we're talking 10, 20... No, it totally leaves lasting damage. It totally does, I know. But I think that, you know, after a sufficient period of time, and I mean, that's different for everyone. I'm not going to say, you need to get over it now. That sort of thing. Because that's unrealistic, and it's not, you know, accurate in any way. But that sort of thing, in all things, you can't let that shit rule your life 10 years later. Who's that follower? That is... Poro Queen, thank you for the follow. Huzzahs for you. I do apologize that you've come in at such a heavy topic time. And let's reroll this again. See if we get something better. Like, it's been years for me, and I'm not gonna let that be a thing that controls me. I still freak out, because I work in the same location, like, not in the same place, but I drive for a living. So I drive around, and I know the guy's fucking car and his license plate, and when I see it, I still freak out a little. But as long as I don't have to see it, I'm not gonna let it control me. I'm not gonna let it rule my existence. Did I just not take damage? Because I don't want it to rule my existence. That would just be a waste of a lifetime. Aw, you still hit me, you bastard. So that's one of those things with losses that... all kinds of loss. It hurts, it does, a lot. And it does leave a lasting problem for so many people. Either you or your family. Oh, it came behind the item tracker? I can fix that. Hold on. That's a problem with the thing. Let me move that up to the top. Let's see. Order, move up. Okay. The way Twitch has it, here, I'll show you guys real quick. So the follower right here, that was below the item yeah. So we need to position this to the top. Bam. All fixed. Okay. Sorry about that. So, like, I'm not gonna say that anyone is, like I said, I'm just gonna say that you can't hold on to something forever. Especially, like, in the case of someone dying, because if that was their legacy, was you being in pain for more than, like, whatever the appropriate time for you as a person to mourn it and move through it as an individual, what a terrible memory to have of a person. Like, that's super sad. Do I have... will one of these give me flight? No? Shit. Alright, damn it. Almost made it. Almost. Yep, definitely Algist. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to not be miserable when you lose someone, or when something like that happens to you. And you can't expect a person to just kind of brush it away. Again, unless that is your coping method. And if that's your coping method, you know, you do what you gotta do. But, I mean, like I said, it's been, like with my situation, it's been 10 years. I'm gonna save that for the cathedral. It's been 10 years. If I still let it ruin everything about my life, and keep a hold of me. You know, be the defining feature of my life. This much later, I would be miserable all the time, and probably would piss her off, because she was not that kind of person who would want you to be miserable. Now, the suck part about it was the nightmares afterwards. So I know where you're coming from, because let me tell you, having a nightmare that you're the person in the passenger seat and experiencing it, and losing a fucking arm, is incredibly painful and terrifying. Luckily, it only happened once, because it sucked. Hi, Mr. Fred. Alright, so this fight is super trivial, at least. I should have activated Book of Shadows, you're right. So I know where you're coming from with the nightmares. I do. How do we not get a double room there? That sucks. Alright, so I am gonna use Book of Shadows. We're gonna take a little bit of damage for it. Oh, didn't count. Oh, let's see. Kinda want Leo. I kinda don't. I'm gonna take another fucking full heart of damage for this shit. I'm not gonna take Monster as long because it's not gonna do anything but make my charge time longer. So let's take Leo. And then go. Okay. The problem with activating a spacebar item like that is that it, once you set it down, it takes your shield away. So, like, if you use the Bible and got flight, it can't take your flight away, but if you use something like Book of Shadows, it removes your shield. Whoops, damn it, that was dumb. I drew just Shadow, though, so if I die, I'm not upset about it. I'll just come back with more damage. You strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you could ever imagine. Sorry. Man, tonight's just been like a really heavy discussion. And I'm not sure how I feel about that. I mean, I like it better than being pissed off at the game, but at the same time, the role of me as played by me. I mean, what? Okay, I think that's all. Alright, let's get the fuck out of here. Really upset I didn't get a devil room. That sucks. Curse of the Unknown. Well, I know I don't have any health, so... I was the chosen one. No, wait, no. I wasn't. Never mind. Oh, nice. You're not Obi-Wan. You didn't train a protege that killed everyone. Or did I? How do you know? You don't. Ha 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 ha. What the fuck is this? You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the sandworms from Beetlejuice, but without the colors. The way their face looks when they charge, that's what it looks like to me. Totally off topic, but I had a huge rant about the Phantom edit of, episodes 1 through 3 earlier today. Like, total topic change, going from the heavy conversation we were having earlier. And all I can think of with the high ground is never fight a Sicilian when death is on the line. You've never heard of the Phantom Edit? Shit, it's dead. +2 to attack and AC isn't gonna save you. You guys are silly, don't ever change. Oh, fuck balls. Okay, don't get hit. Good. The Phantom Edit is a cut of the movie where someone, they took the first 3 movies, and by first 3 I mean chronologically, episodes 1, 2, and 3, and cut them into one video. Basically, it takes out all of the big picture stuff, and it basically focuses on Anakin and the whole young lovers trapped in a hole in a turbulent world, and he's in the military and can't love. But if you haven't seen episodes 1, 2, and 3 outside of it, you have no idea what the fuck is going on, because there's no transition, there's little context, and characters just appear and disappear randomly without explanation. So. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? That sucks! Curse of the Maze, you screwed me! Now I don't even know where I am. Oh. Okay, we're good. We're good. My charge time is a lot longer than I think it is. Okay, not bad. I want to finish so I can blow my nose. Back with theater, you say? I didn't really need to take that. Nice. It doesn't fix anything. In fact, it makes it actively worse. Because without context, you don't know what the hell is going on. I was waiting for a response. That's why I was quiet for so long. It's still terrible. I can give a perfectly good example, too, of why it's bad. What? Oh, thank goodness. 2 of Hearts. That's not gonna help me. Why is my charge time so long? So what was the point? The point was to try and make it not shitty, but it didn't work. I mean, not everything... The guy had a good goal. Like, you gotta respect what he was trying to do, but he failed miserably. Alright, Sabzi, could you take care of that, please? I'd appreciate it. And I'm gonna die. No? Fuck! Every time... Oh, hey. Yeah. Someone thought it would fix it, yeah. You personally dislike the machete order? I think the machete order works. Like, in concept, the machete order works. Okay, we made it! We made it through this room, yay! The problem is that without the machete order, it ruins the original's reveal at the end of episode 5. Did I reroll these and get anything good? Must have. Oh right, I got minus touch. Yeah, that's gonna be a flaw no matter what. Okay, so this has like been such a weird topic for like a weird discussionary night, changing topics and all. Shit, I dodged right into that. A perfect example of the problems with the Phantom edit is Count Dooku, because he shows up, and then this is the it really depends on which version you watch, because there's like the guy keeps releasing new versions of it, so every different one is a little bit changed, but it's a good example. It's a good example because he shows up the same way he does in Episode 2. Oh, that's the hilarious part, is that the Phantom edit takes out all but the very last scene of the Phantom Menace. But anyway, Dooku is a perfect example, because he shows up and does his little speech at the end of the arena scene in Episode 2. And it's like, oh, okay, I get it now. He's a major villain, because he's the leader of this army. That's the bad guys. Got it. That makes sense. And then you never see him again. In the edit, he's killed off-screen, and is only mentioned because Obi-Wan is like, hey, you're the one who has to file the report. You're the one that killed Dooku. What? I thought he was going to be a major villain. What? He was supposed to... But he seemed like... He gave that whole speech, and he was in charge, and... Wait, what? And then he's just gone. He's just gone. He shows up with no explanation on who the fuck he is, and then he just disappears in an off-screen murder. It's just... It's bad writing. No, yeah, some versions actually cut him out completely. But that's my point, is that characters show up, they're not given any context on who they are, like, because... He is dead. Because they cut out all but the very last fight scene in the Phantom edit, and they cut out the entire movie except for the fight with fucking Maul. You have no idea who Jar Jar is, and he shows up and he's suddenly a senator in charge. Now granted, Jar Jar can go fuck himself, but you don't know who the hell he is, but he's in charge and he acts like he's buddy-buddy with all the characters, but we don't know who the fuck he is. Shit. Finally died. So it's super confusing. Unless you've actually seen you've seen them uncut, you're not going to know what the hell's going on. That's the problem with it. And that's the problem, I think, with a lot of movies, is that because they cut for time and pacing, is you lose little transition and context scenes that are important so that you see the whole picture. It cuts out Grievous, and that's, real quick, this is the last thing I'll say before I end the episode, since I know people, as soon as you get to the end and it's like, hey guys, thanks for watching, well, end, you click, you're done with the thing. Yes, basically. Hi, I'm a senator, important guy, friends with the protag. Who? But no, it cuts out a lot of the cool stuff, too. Like the whole fight with Grievous. General Grievous doesn't exist in the edit, in the version I saw. Now, if you watch the Phantom edit and you've never seen episodes 1, 2, and 3, that's fine. You don't miss him. But if you know he exists and you know how badass he is, especially if you've seen some of the other stuff like the cartoons and the Clone Wars series and all that, and you know how fucking awesome he is before he becomes a wheezing wussbag in the movie, you miss him. You're like, dude, where the hell's Grievous? He was awesome. Where's he? Why isn't he? Where's my fight scene? It cuts out a lot of the cool stuff to grind it down into this tiny little, tiny-ass runtime that focuses on one tiny facet of a big story. So there's a lot of problems with it. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.